So positive people, you got Dana here, and today I wanted to talk pop culture with you guys. This whole Kanye thing has brought up a really cool conversation about um, the influence that your partner can have. We have Kim Kardashian coming at Rhyme Fest, who was running a foundation that he started with Kanye called Donda's House. Basically, he had made a little snide comment in reference to Drake sending Pusha T and Good Music a bill. Drake had dissed him in the W freestyle, which in some ways helped promote the album because they were going back and forth. There was some buzz there, along with the fact that he had released this record. I still myself have not listened to this Pusha album, and full disclosure, I'm not a Pusha T fan, so that might be a big part of the reason why I haven't taken the time to go listen to it. I mean, I've heard his verses. I know how dope he is as an artist. He's just not somebody that I listen to in my day-to-day. Just to double back some, because why not flesh this video out anyway, since I'm talking Kardashian fuckery, and I'd much rather talk hip-hop than that. I could go on and on and on about my love of like rap and battling and all that other stuff, but obviously y'all know that from like a lot of my older stuff. But anyway, so you have this situation where Pusha T drops Daytona, the last track. He's subbing Drake, and then Drake responds with Dubby. In my personal opinion, when I go bar for bar between the two songs, I personally liked Pusha T's song better than I liked Dubby, and that's even after I'd listened to both a couple times, because there were a couple verses in Duppy that applied to Drake a lot. Like the whole thing of like, you rapping about other people's experience. My nigga, Drake's entire career is him either living vicariously and rapping vicariously about people's lives who are in his corner, or him kind of being like, he's hood adjacent, you know what I mean? He's rap adjacent, he's hood adjacent, he's US adjacent, he's Memphis adjacent, my nigga. I'm not throwing shade. Some people have the opinion that he's a culture vulture for that reason. Like, who else do you know can make a Spanish song or reggae song and take on the different accents? It's one thing to maybe make a song in homage to when you're collaborating with an artist, but why do you need to be like the reggae singer or the reggae rapper or the Spanish singer, the Spanish rapper? The songs come out after Duppy comes out. OVO Sound sends Good Music a bill, which obviously I don't think anyone's taking seriously, or it needs to be paid or anything. It's just another little nod, it's another little thing to add. And then now, we fast forward to Rhyme Fest, adding them going like, when you get that money back, can you see if they can give some to Donda's House, which, depending on who you ask, that's not the way you go about getting somebody who was a part of a foundation and decided to become inactive. I don't think that's necessarily the best call to action, but hey, Kanye's been in the public forum with other people. I don't see why Rhyme Fest, especially a day one, person in Kanye's life, somebody that's been in Kanye's life since before Kim, was a thing, and before Kim was somebody that Kanye was good enough to date. Rhyme Fest was in his life. So right then and there, we put Rhyme Fest in a different category, because this ain't just some bum on the street that's trying to hit Kanye up about some bread. This was something in their hometown, in their community, that they started to help disadvantaged children. And with all the things that are going on right now in the world, with Kanye spewing all this bullshit about how, he wants to be a free thinker, and through his free thinking, open up all these, brands and things. What's so crazy? I don't want to spit that shit that Kanye be spitting. I remember once upon a time, I could go and watch when Kurt Loder and them were on MTV News, and Kanye would do interviews with them, and Kanye's always been somebody who didn't go with the pack, right? We know that. He's always been, it's him being different that has allowed him to ascend to where he's at now. So we already know being unconventional has worked for Kanye. But I always felt like him being unconventional was for the greater good of black people, because it allowed for there to be more than just one type of rapper. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't from the hood. He wasn't rapping about drugs. He came from a background where his parents are both where his parents are educated and accomplished, and as a result you have somebody who I feel like has more depth as an artist because of the fact that they're not limited to maybe circumstances of life and centering their music around the circumstances of life. Like, Kanye's given us records about working dead-end jobs. Kanye's given us records about, fame, heartbreak, politics. He's given us gospel records. And then, all of that to say that, like, one of, Kanye's biggest records is Jesus Walks, and fucking Rhymefest was a co-writer on that. It just goes to show you how important to the Kanye story that a Rhymefest is, especially because Kanye really embraces, collaboration and having great minds in the room. And I just feel like as he ascends, there are less and less great minds in the room, and there's more Kardashian influence in the room, and it's really heartbreaking because he was one of our great minds. He was one of those, not necessarily free thinking, because I don't think free thinking is something, I don't know. I've always been of the mind that, like, free thinking is something that only certain people are allowed to subscribe to. I'll never subscribe to the idea that I can just run out here and just say whatever I feel. And it's why I carry myself the way that I do on the internet. We now live in a day and age where now it's like, in order for you to really be able to say what you want to say and really get your shit off, consequence for you have to kind of shield yourself financially. Like, my nigga, nowadays you can tweet something in jest. In genuine jest, and motherfuckers will make it their business to find out where you work and to get you fired and to make it this big to do, and sometimes it's warranted, a lot of the times it's not. The thing is with Kanye, what he doesn't realize is that everybody doesn't get to live in the white minimal house in Calabasas, with their 3 test tube babies. Like, that's just not offered to everybody else, most of us anyway. So for a while, I could make exceptions for the reckless shit that he was saying, because at the heart of it, it was never meant to, like, tear us all down until that slavery was a choice shit. I'm still not of the group of people who feel like because he's saying these things, I don't necessarily want to listen to his music, because at the same time, even though I feel like his words are destructive, there are a lot of people in our community that say and do destructive things, and we still let them rock. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of the mind of, like, the R. Kellys and these people the Bill Cosbys, these people that have, like, really done damage, you know what I mean? Like, okay, boom. That's a great comparison. There are some people that are of the mind that, like, I don't want to listen to Jesus Walks, or I don't want to listen to, College Dropout, I don't want to listen to Late Registration, whatever. All behind that slavery was a choice shit. I feel like if that's Kanye's biggest crime, then y'all definitely don't need to be watching the Cosbys, Lil Bill, Fat Albert, and none of that shit. But he has said time and time again that y'all pants sagging, slang talking, niggerish ass niggas ain't his cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? So, I can at least give Kanye that he's never outright said fuck niggas. You know what I'm saying? He might have said slavery was a choice, which is fucking dumb as hell. Now we catch up now to this Rhymefest shit. So Kim catches herself getting in the middle of this, and then comes back on Instagram and starts with, let me break this all down, as if she can make it any better. Bitch, was you with Kanye shooting in the gym? No, ho. I really think Kris Jenner and them really be, once they get these black dudes under the fold, that they just feel like they caping, and all of their accomplishments in their lives prior to them, they feel like they're all privy to, and they're at that table. And I just feel like Kim's not allowed to sit at the same table that Consequence and GLC and Rhymefest and all these people that were there initially get to sit at. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like she gets to sit at the same table when they're talking album shit. And until you start co-writing some shit, I just don't feel like you have the right to be coming at people this way, especially because Rhymefest was bringing up some very valid points. You're sitting here spewing all this shit about how you want to make the world a better place, but you ain't even taking care of home. And what they do over in Chicago, I'm sure, is pennies, nickels and dimes compared to you spending weeks at a time in Wyoming and Utah for album sessions and for weeks at a time that only, according to Pusha T, sometimes end up in one beat being made. You're blowing money for a vibe that clearly doesn't work for how you work. I remember hearing stories back in the day about how, you know what I'm saying, there'd be lots of people in the studio, and he was somebody that was just moved by the music and was fully inspired, and now you have to freaking sequester yourself in order to find that same piece. It makes you wonder what's going on, you know what I'm saying, outside of just his mental health and everything. What's going on in your personal life that you can't just get down how you used to? Like, why are you this weirdo that has to like go to Pluto to fucking get a beat done? That's how I feel about all that. I want to make more videos like this, and I'm just testing the waters with it because sometimes they get views and then sometimes y'all really hate them. So definitely let me know what you'd like to see me make videos on. Sorry, I've been playing with my braids. I'm always much happier with braids in my head. They're lightweight. I can style them. These braids took me 10 hours to do, if you're curious, in other news. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoy your Memorial Day. Eat barbecue, hang out with the ones you love. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you can get notifications for every time I post. And until next time, peace, positive people.